Many of us are right now dreaming of a Euro summer. More and more Aussies are setting their sights on a much cooler holiday.
But with ski prices on the rise, is it better to travel local or hit the slopes overseas? Today Money expert Joel Gibson joins us now to crunch the costs for you at home. Joel, how does Australia compare to places like New Zealand or Japan?
It's quite interesting. I had a bit of a look at some of the numbers as they stand at the moment, and what I found was that, yes, it is quite a bit more expensive in Australia for the daily lift pass, for example, compared to, say, New Zealand and Japan. You can see on the left there the lift pass differences.
It's a horrendous amount of money.
It's a big difference, and the gear rental prices are quite different as well. So when you add it up, that's kind of over a 5-day holiday, for example, 5 days of skiing. It's over $1,000 difference between Australia and some of those international destinations, which could pay for some or all of your flights to get to those other destinations.
This is why going on a ski trip anywhere is out of reach of most Australians.
Well, that's the first thing I should have said, is it doesn't matter where you go, it's a really expensive holiday. That is a fact, and there's no avoiding that. There are some cheaper ways to do it in Australia, which we'll come to later. Okay. But what I thought was interesting here was just to compare those prices, because, of course, when you go overseas, you've got to throw in some extra things like, you know, the flights, obviously, but also, you know, accommodation is a big one, whether you're here or overseas. Accommodation also is significantly cheaper overseas if you want to stay on or near the snow. And it's really just because in Australia, they just don't have the same scale as they have in New Zealand and Japan. We have a shorter season. Last year wasn't a great season, so businesses had to make their money back in a very short period of time. Last year, they probably lost money, some of them. This is a bumper season this year. It's looking really, really good. It's been chucking down snow. So hopefully some of those Australian businesses are making back some of the money they lost last year. But in New Zealand and Japan, they have much longer seasons. It's much easier for them.
Let's talk about budget. What if you were on a budget?
I think there are some things you can do, particularly in Australia, where you don't have to pay for flights. If you're prepared to stay off the snow, I know some people who sometimes camp at a campground near Thredbo in the middle of winter.
Oh my goodness.
But it's very, very cheap.
Cold.
But even just staying, you know, down the mountain in a town that's not on snow can be half the price for accommodation. That's a big one. Smaller resorts can be cheaper than the big resorts too. If you're taking the kids for the first time, consider some of those smaller resorts, which can be much, much cheaper. And also, if you buy months in advance, you can save 25 or 30% on your lift passes. So a lot of it's just about being super organised, looking at the shoulder season, not staying right on the snowfield, and just doing some of those smart.
Jazz got all this stuff for Harper from Temu, right? All this Chinese gear. It's unbelievable quality.
So much cheaper, isn't it?
Really, I don't know how they produce it for that.
I have no idea how they do it, but I think if you can borrow ski gear, even better, right?
That is better,
especially with kids, they're only going to wear it once, probably 1 year or 2 years. If you can borrow it or buy it second-hand or get it really cheap somewhere, it's probably a good idea.
Who needs a trade deal with the US when we've got China?
Look out, look out.
I should have had a look at the Chinese resorts, by the way. They're probably cheaper than the others. We'll do that next time.
So there are many Aussies going there.
Succulent Chinese meal.